How's it, folks? Tymon, the Dying Light franchise director, recently, about 2 hours before I started recording, did a Reddit AMA, and he dropped a bit of information that I thought was kind of interesting, so I thought I'll go through some of the questions and answers with you guys. Start off with, will more E3 features come, and is there a possibility to look at the biomarker physically instead of a HUD for us? People who like to make everything immersive. And he answered, perhaps. It's not something that's big on a list, but also not that difficult to make. So maybe just for you, people who like to make everything immersive, we'll do something. Let me note that down. Next question, will we be getting a weapon repair system as well as dynamic weather and skybox updates? And he said the weapon repair is a topic of hot debate in our office. So much of DL looting loop is built around constantly looking for new weapons. There's a fear that it will break that loop significantly, but the Let's Do It faction here slowly gains in numbers, so who knows. As for the dynamic weather, yes, we have this on our list. I think we'll start with smaller changes, examples, making rain weathers more visible, more frequent, and if it's not enough, we'll do a bigger pass on these systems. Next question, Howler's not being able to start chases kinda breaks the law now, since a Howler initiates the first ever chase in the game, when Aiden and Hakon are outside the bazaar door. What do you think about that? Will the scene be changed? And he said, we'll do some updates here. Howlers told others of your presence, and this is what happens in the bazaar scene. Due to a small mistake from our part, there were no virals right after the Good Night, Good Luck update release, but it should have been amended within the next few days. Next question is about graphics. Any plan to improve the graphics of the game in the future? Lighting and game textures are not looking good. Tymon said, we're slowly improving some bits here and there, but don't expect anything groundbreaking in the foreseeable future. We're thinking about one big push in that area, but I would say it will not happen this year. Next question is, will there be more updates, quality of life improvements for Dying Light 2, even with DLC 2 being delayed? And he said yes. We are already compiling a list of improvements for the next community update. And next big question is, when can we expect a new roadmap? And he said, of course you can expect one, but don't expect anything to happen before the end of summer holidays. We have some cool event stuff ready for you for the hot months, and we will reveal more about the future afterwards. And then here's a 3-in-1. Will Elysium make a comeback? Will executions be a feature in the future? Will Chapter 3 ever happen? And he said, difficult one for with a smiley face for the first answer. The second answer, he said, maybe, who knows, I would love to, even if the format will be different. And third, he answered, I know this may sound like I'm avoiding the answer, but I'm actually spilling more beans than I should. Next question is, good night, good luck, parkour update was a success. Are we to expect any gameplay changes to parkour, combat, or another system? And he said, I think we'll leave combat, parkour, and night to stay as they are for some time. Just polish them more with smaller improvements. Next question is, will there be any other DLC after the second one? Is the DLC 2 the last DLC of the game? And he says, depends on demand. Would you like more? Next question is, when are we going to get the Walking Dead stuff? And he said, official information will be happening soon, but I can reveal it's not that far off. Actually, if you're a Walking Dead fan, you should be aware of some important dates happening for that series soon. Next question is, any plans on cross-gen progress? Example, using my PS4 save on PS5, because right now I can't use it and had to make a whole new save. And he said, it's surprisingly complex, but we should have some good news to you in the not so distant future. Next question, how about different weapon attack animations and strike combos? And he said, we did some updates in that regard. I think we'll be looking at our animations again soon, maybe add in some more variants here and there. Next question, will there be any more community updates this year or before the DLC drop to fix all the issues there is in the 2 updates we have this year, or to add small features like a weapon repair system to DL2, or new weapon types of categories like sickles, polearm, knife, etc. be added to the game, or new weapon swing animations? All heavily requested things like dynamic skybox, map overall, combat finishers, takedown, etc. be added to the game. He said definitely there will be. I don't want to say how big and how many, but some kind of community update containing things similar to the one mentioned is on the way. Next is, will the viral grabbing you while climbing shown in the E3 trailer going to make a return? He said, See an answer above, it could, but it's not as cool as you think. We'll be swarmed with requests to turn it off, especially after what's happened when they overtuned the volatiles a little bit with the Good Night Good Luck update. Next question, are you guys planning to add more animation, sound effects, etc. to volatiles? Currently, I feel like it can be improved to make it scarier and more memorable. Anyways, I want to say thanks to the whole team for the recent update, and said not on the list, but we'll look at them. Next question is, for the custom maps on console, is it a matter of a week or month? And he said definitely not a week. Month may also not be enough, but we're pushing very, very hard to make them available as soon as it's technically possible. Keep your fingers crossed. Next question is, when can we expect a new harder difficulty for the game? Until the end of this year? Also, wouldn't it be better if there was a custom difficulty so you can change your own settings and make the game as hard as you want it to be, changing variables like the density of zombie spawns, how fast you want enemies to be, how tanky, how much damage you want them to deal, etc. Thanks for listening to the community. I have high hopes for this game, and the evolution of the game until now has been amazing. And he said, that's interesting. Perhaps there's still some wiggle room for us for the second half of the year, and something connected to difficulty modes is considered. I don't want to commit to saying it will be something ultra hard or something close to what you described, like make your own difficulty, but actually the latter option is very doable. We just need to expose some of the levers and switches we already have under the hood. Next question is, when should we expect for community ideas to be out there ready for being voted by the community? And he said within 2 to 3 weeks. I'm not running this, but should happen soon. Next is, are there any plans on updating the map? For example, Dark Hollows and Forsaken stores all feel a bit too similar. It would be nice to have more variety and different layouts. And he said, yes, the plans are there. Again, don't want to commit to any schedule, but 100% sure it will happen until we turn old and grey. There was a question about trying to fix the glaring bloom issues in the game, but he either didn't see it or just didn't answer it. The next question is, can you increase the speed of the high jump? It's like Volt pause high jump. It feels kind of clunky and would be nice if that pause were reduced or removed. And he said it's there to feedback the move went it better. But you're right, it feels a little too slow. We'll not rush it, but expect a slight speed up in one of the coming updates. Next question is, will we ever be able to have an option to take away the whoosh sound from far jumps and double jumps? This does also side include E3 far jumps, which I thought were going to be implemented. I really felt like that was one big thing that was missed out on since this Good Night Good Luck update was about momentum, and funny enough, E3 had a far jump that activated instantly and kept the momentum when jumping onto something. Also had no whoosh sound. And he said, we'll look into that. We don't plan to do big changes to combat parkour day and night for the next few months, but small updates like this are likely to happen, squeezed in various updates. Next question is, any more details for how the map of DLC 2 is going to be like? Based on some of the concept art you guys shared, it seems there is a lot of nature to explore. Does this mean cities, or in other words, will parkour take a backseat in DLC 2, like how the following DLC for DL1 had a lot of driving instead of parkour? And he answered, can't reveal much. It will be different when it comes to traversal and atmosphere. And if I were to say more, someone would most likely shoot me. Next question is, do you plan on adding any more big content post DLC 2, such as a third story DLC, overhauls, map expansions, etc.? And he says, depends on demand. There are tons of ideas, but it all depends on if you folks want them. Next question is, when will we see the Elysium map? Will we see Night Runner difficulty? Will we see new chapters? And when will you share the new roadmap? These are all my questions. And he says, maybe at some point, definitely. It's on the table after summer holidays. Cheers. Will you guys explore more opportunities with zombies exclusively on harder difficulties in the future? Like, for example, what if on the upcoming Nightmare difficulty, volatiles can grab you off your paraglider, or maybe virals can grab you while climbing, like in the E3 2019 trailer? I think it would make the night even more scarier on harder difficulties. He said that's possible and doable. Thanks for these ideas, noted them down. Next question is there a chance we will get a few touches on the combat AR? The AR of human enemies isn't always very good, and it can make it a bit unsatisfactory. And he said, yes, I'm aware. I think in one of the upcoming updates, we'll do a bigger push to take our ARs, mostly humans, to a higher level, both in single player and in co-op. Next question is, will new difficulties be added before DLC 2? He said there's a huge chance it will happen. I answered in bigger detail above. Next question is, will the next DLC focus more on survival? He said, I wouldn't say survival, but definitely more on zombies. Survival, that's another topic though. FOV slider on old gen? I don't know. We could technically do that, but it's a question of performance. There's a minimal chance it will not break how fluid the game is. And the next question is, will the viral grabbing you while climbing shown in the E3 trailer going to make a return? He said, we had this prototype then, but it actually was so frustrating. It's a cool demo scene, but when you try to run and suddenly you stop without any control over it, it's a cool moment once, but not when it's part of the game. We wanted to bring it back in Good Night, Good Luck update, but skipped that for the reasons above. Next question, hi Timon, hope you're doing good. Will there be any major gameplay changes in upcoming updates, DLC or the future? And he said, hope so. Next question is, what I'm curious to know is that will Nightmare Volatiles make a return or possibly a resurgence of something much more dark and dangerous? He said, the Blue Priests? Possible, but we'll let you settle on the current difficulty of the night for some time before ramping up the difficulty. Next question, will Night Hunter ever appear again after that pre-ordered DL2 comic, or was his fate sealed with that explosion at the end of the comic? And he said, I can't answer as this would double seal his fate. Next question, are you going to do anime collab like Attack on Titan as well as video game series? And he said, Attack on Titan was never on our list, but I would love to see other IPs more visible in Dying Light. Which anime series you'd like to see? Ninja Scroll would be cool. I'm also dreaming of 2 other collabs outside of anime world. I can reveal you one to test if it's not too funny cheesy. Would you like to see Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles in Dying Light? Next question is, will we be able to romance characters in the story later down the line, or is it something that hasn't been looked into? And he said, wasn't really our focus, so no. Did I break your heart? Next question, is it possible to transfer my Xbox One X save to Steam PC? He said, that's so tricky you can't even imagine. Right now, we're not working on it actively. Next question is, how likely are we able to toggle some events as modifiers during our play? Such as turning on the Fists of Madness and sending zombies flying. Maybe turn off achievements to balance things. Fist of Madness event in Dying Light 1 was one of the most fun I had in the game, and I was able to get 4 of my friends to try the game out. He said, cool idea, we plan to do more lighter events with changes like that. At one time we considered a My Game mode where you could actively activate your own mutators. Maybe we should get back to it. Next question is, can we expect improvements to the open world of Villador? Maybe some random encounters depending on the assigned factions. He said, yes, I would like that. We will be slowly introducing more variety here. Don't want to commit to any schedules or timings, but it will change for sure. And that seems to be all of the questions and answers covered from the Reddit AMA. Are there any questions you guys would still like to get answers that weren't covered? Let me know in the comment section down below. Otherwise, I hope you all have a fantastic day. Take care and cheers for now.